A few years back, I learned for the first time, forgive me for my little knowledge on Zoroastrianism. I learned for the first time that the Zoroastrians keep this barley, they put this wheat or barley seeds and as a part of a celebration, and they put the seedlings, they grow the seedlings as a part of a ritual. And why that was intriguing for me is I grew up that the first day of Navaratri, we have to put the barley on and get the seedlings going, and the Durga Puja is not even complete without keeping these barley seedlings. And some people put wheat seedlings, and some other people also use other seeds. And a typical ritual celebration from the seeds to germinate the seeds, to bring them to life, to continuity, the way we have been celebrating. And this type of ritual, I'm sure many of you have practiced or at least seen. The antiquity of some of the cultures go so remote that we do not have any written history. We can only guess. There are also several postings, if you guys follow, on the imagery of the Durga, buffalo slaying goddess, and Nana, and many other forms. And yet again, you get taken aback the antiquity of this goddess worshipping culture. And of course, this could not have come to its flowering stage during our post-agricultural and post-patriarchal societies. So we are again going to the antiquity of the humankind to talk about these goddess words. At one time, everything was divine, and we cut that divine out of the world, tossed him outside, and made him transcendent, made him and made transcendent. So it was neither him nor transcendent before that. It was everything of she or he, all potentials within, manifesting in both or neither, or in animal and bird forms, or just in mountains and rivers. The divine was encountered everywhere, and somehow we chopped off this divine from our daily life and constituted the space for the sacred to be removed from the human. We discovered not the sacred, because everything was sacred then. We discovered the profane, because we could not face ourselves to be sacred. We became profane. And the divine could not be alongside with us because we were profanes. This required a dichotomy, a type of duality between the creator and the created, between the absolute and the manifest, and the visible and the invisible. The visible could not be trusted. The visible became illusory. The visible became Maya. And in contrast, as we can see, if we trace the original Shakta philosophy, we find a continuum, we found a monism, we found a non-dualism, Advaita, not in the Advaita sense that denies the world, the manifestation, the external reality or juxtaposes the external from the internal, but a continuum, a surge, and euphoria, a joy, as if like what happens, a splash when the tides come, the tides kind of splash above the ocean sides, and it's if you boil something, the boiling entity goes up. It was the manifestation was like a surplus. It was the absolute being more than it is, if you may. It's expressing its own inner intrinsic modes. And for that, what could be a better day to celebrate? I'm going to mix up some academic stuff with my own auto-narratives, because I grew up in a very Shakta household. And today, if I were in my childhood home, of course, that is like dream now. If I were in childhood home, my parents would be cutting the fresh rice from the field. We used to have a big field, and the first fresh rice, the smell, I don't know, modern people do not know those things. And we would bring it, celebrate, we would make havana, sacrifice. And then we would have the beaten rice from the fresh, from the field that very day. And then we would have chivda, we call chivda, beaten rice. And this is why this is significant is if you are living in a farming society, farming culture, for you the most important day to celebrate is harvesting. Our harvesting begins with Durga, celebrating Durga. And so the seedlings, keeping new seedlings begins the same day. It's a recycling, a regeneration, just like we are putting new seedlings, we are starting new seedlings. We are harvesting from the old seeds, a completion of the cycle. What happened in the world, we got separated, we got divided, and we left this mother energy behind. We trusted Father little too much because there was a need for the law, a macho man, to beat up, to implement the law, to behead. And the care, the nourishment got left behind. And we found wars. We also discovered major civilizations in this process. But that was a consequence of us again rediscovering our masculinity, our capacity to annihilate others. We live today in a very diverse society. If we see even among just a few of us here, we are almost from 4 different continents, maybe, so many different people from different background, cultural, linguistic, and a reality that cannot simulate itself, multiply itself, that cannot express itself in the diverse form, cannot address our type of world reality today. We need the type of global philosophy where our plurality is intrinsically accepted, and where our experience of the sacred is not solely determined in the patriarchal structure.